Ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to this very special watch along. It is Wales taking on England. It's the big one. I am very, very nervous for this one, but also very, very excited. So welcome along to the watch along. Hope you're doing well on this Saturday afternoon. It's beautiful outside. It's so good to have you alongside. And yeah, it's going to be a great day of rugby, isn't it? If you're new here and watching on the YouTube channel, do subscribe. It's free to do as we push towards 1,000 subscribers. Keeps you up to date with everything that goes on the channel. And if you're watching on Facebook, then be sure to like the page. Also, make sure to follow the page as well at Brandon Smith at Rugby to keep you up to date with everything. It's a nervy time, isn't it? It's very, very nervous. I'm very nervous for this one, but so excited for it as well. Both teams are about to come out shortly, so we are going to show you both teams beforehand. Just a reminder, I will not be showing the actual game due to copyright, but what we are doing here is trying to get fans together. During these difficult times, we can't meet together because of COVID. So we can, of course, have a conversation like this. England are on their way out. So let's have a look at the teams. Wales line up like this. Let's start with the fullback then. At fullback is Liam Williams. At fullback on the wing then, Louis Rees-Zammit and Josh Adams. Josh Adams back in, of course, after his COVID breach. In the centres then, George North and Jonathan Davis. Then at the halfback pair, it's Dan Bigg, an interesting choice of Kieran Hardy. Looking at the forwards then, Wyn Jones, Ken Owens and Thomas Francis are the front row, with then Adam Beard and Alan Wyn-Jones in the locks. Josh Navidi, Justin Tipuric and Talupe Faletau are the back row. Looking at England then, this is how England line up. Elliot Daly at 15, with Watson on the wing alongside Johnny May, with Henry Slade and Owen Farrell stays in the centre. And of course, we have George Ford and Ben Youngs at 10 and 9 respectively. Then looking at the forwards, we have Mako Vunipola, Jamie George and Kyle Sinclair as the front row. Maritoja and Johnny Hill are in the locks, with Mark Wilson, Tom Curry and Binny Vunipola completing that England team. Guys, it's time to get your predictions in. Let me know in the chat your predictions. You're more than welcome here, folks. Be sure to subscribe if you're new, like the stream as well, and get involved in the chat. Just keep it rugby, and it's going to be a great afternoon to watch some sport. We, of course, did the Italy against Ireland watch-along, where Italy ran out winners in that one, 48 points to 10. So we're doing a watch-along here, but you are more than welcome. I am very nervous. Wales go for the Triple Crown today. Very, very nervous, but very excited for this one. But I've got my sandwiches. I've got my snacks. I'm ready for this one. George North comes out first. He is, of course, winning his 100th cap today. What an achievement for him. Someone who struggled with form last season, but this season has been brilliant for the Ospreys, and he starts at the centre as Wales come out. Freddie Clark, an England supporter, I am really worried, mate. Good luck to you. Not too much luck, but it's going to be a great game of rugby, isn't it? And I'm so excited for this one. Very, very nervous, but very, very excited as well at the same time. But you're very welcome here to the watch-along of Wales against England. The big derby is very nervous for both sets of fans. Of course it is. But I'm very, very excited for this one. But the pressure is certainly on both teams to an extent as well. But be sure to get involved in the chat, folks, if you're here for the first time. Yeah, I'm nervous. I am very, very nervous. Having a minute of silence to raise awareness about racism within rugby. It has no place in rugby, and that is 100% true. And then we will have the anthems. So, guys, predictions in the chat. Freddie Clark, you're an England fan. Let me know what your predictions for this one. Folks, let me know who you're backing for this one. The anthems, England's anthem, will go first. So the English anthem is playing now. I'll turn it up for you to be able to hear it. So we've had the English anthem. It's now time for the Wales anthem. The nerves are brewing here. I'm getting nervous now, but I'm so excited. Here we go. Brings tears to the eyes, folks. There we go. We've had the anthems, and yes, I am very, very nervous. Let's see what you guys are saying. Ryan laughing. Let's go Exeter Chiefs. This is Wales against England. But yeah, Exeter Chiefs lost yesterday, actually. YouTube, welcome along. Hope you are well. Hello to my darling sister, Fionn. How lovely to see you. I'll see you tomorrow for Sunday lunch. I'll see you then. And come on, Wales. So predictions in the chat, guys. I'm going to back Wales to win this one by 3 to 6 points. I think it's going to be really, really close. 3 to 6 points to Wales. That's my predictions. But let me know in the chat, who are you backing for this one? I'm so nervous. This is the one game that I get really, really nervous for. But good luck to both sides. Enjoy the game, folks. But I am nervous. We've looked at both teams. I've given my predictions. Both teams are ready to go here. This is going to be a good game, I'm sure of it. Here we go then. Wales against England. We're about to kick off here. It is live to watch on, of course, S4C or BBC One. But I'm not showing the game itself, but you can just join in the chat and the banter as we watch this one together. But let's get going here. If you're watching on Facebook, be sure to like and follow the page. And if you're watching it on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. It is free to do. The referee is Pascal Gauzier of France. And off we go. England kick us off. George Ford kicks us off here down at the Principality in Cardiff. And my word, am I nervous as George North collects the ball. Let's have a look at some of your predictions. YouTube says 420 to Wales, England 69. But Wales 21-14. I'd take that. I would absolutely take that. Whoa, it is nervous. It is very nervy. I'm so nervous. But welcome along to the watch along. Here we go. Wales against England. England with possession in their own half here. Billy Vunipola, someone who's spoken very honestly and openly about the fact that he's not been playing that well, that he's not been on form. but we'll have to see how he performs in this game. George Ford decides to put boot to ball. It'll be really interesting to see how we decide to start this game. Ian Gilbert, hope you're well, watching from sunny Spain. And it's pretty sunny here in the UK, but probably not as warm as it is over there. Come on, Wales, indeed. Oh, I'm so nervous. I've got the shirt on, I've got the posters on, but I am nervous. I'm not going to lie. This is the one game that I get really nervous for. So I apologise if the language turns at any point. I apologise if anything is said that I may not mean in the moment. But England have possession here inside their own half once again, as Ben Young's box kicks it. I think we have gone with our strongest team, and not always taking form into consideration, but on paper, our strongest team. Kieran Hardy at 9 is a really interesting option. I'd be interested to see how he does today. But this is the game I get the most nervous for every single year. Kieran Hardy will look to box kick this one just outside our own 22 here. He sends this one high. It's a good take from Daly, but a great hit from Talupe Faletau as Mako Vunipola takes the ball over the halfway line. George Ford out here to Farrell. Farrell out to Johnny May. Tackled. I think he's over the, not quite over the ball there. And he was over the ball. Lovely stuff there. Not rolling away from England. And Wales have the first penalty. I think, was that Dan Bigger who won that? No, it's George North. Brilliant work from George North there. And we'll have an opportunity to send this one down into the English territory. 2 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock. So if you want to sync your game with myself, you're able to do that. But I'm so nervous. I am so nervous, but so excited for this one as well. Ken Owens puts this one in. Alan Wynne-Jones. Knock on from England here, so Wales with the advantage. Kieran Hardy just waiting for players to set themselves up. Still advantage to Wales here. Bigger will send this one high to try something, but that's not really going anywhere, is it, if we're being totally honest? And we'll come back. Is the advantage over? It must have been over. Interesting. Bigger watches this one bounce back and he will boot this one. And has that reached touch? Yes, it has. That's a great kick. They're always a good class act, aren't they? They are always a good act. A deliberate knock on there from England, from Mauro Toge. So Wales will have... So Wales have a line out inside the 22 here of England. Wales with the line out then. This is something we've been struggling with this season. We win our line out. Good stuff. Adam Beard collects. The driving maul is set up. Come on, Kieran Hardy, get it out. We're not moving. Advantage to Wales. Side entry from England there. I think you take the points. Alan Wynne is pointing towards the posts. Wales will have the first opportunity to get our points on the board. Dan Bigger with his first opportunity to kick. Good start though by Wales. We are going to have a guest jumping in a second, someone who's been on the channel a lot over the past few years, and he's going to be jumping on in just a second to make it even more spicier. Dan Bigger with his first kick of the match. It's successful. Come on. I'm going to be passionate today. I cannot hide my passion, so you're just going to have to deal with that, because I'm so nervous for this game. I'm so nervous. But Wales lead 3-0 here. Very good start for us here. There we go. 3-0 to Wales. Good start, though. Come on, clean exit here now, boys. Nothing silly. It's going to be the battle of discipline as well today. Who can keep their discipline? Oh, he's knocked it down! Malatuji! Oh! Kieran Hardy, why are you taking so long? Oh, my word. Maritoje, we know you're going to do that. And yet Kieran Hardy just holds on to the ball for ages. Like, just kick it, man. Just kick it. Luckily, though, Liam Williams managed to tap it down over our own try line. And so to drop out 22 as we clear it to Billy Vunipola. That's a fantastic tackle by Josh Adams on Billy Vunipola. England with the ball, though, on the halfway line here. Cal Sinclair with the ball in hand. Wales have turned it over here. This is brilliant. And we get the penalty. 7 minutes in here. Wales certainly on top. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching on YouTube, like and follow on Facebook. This game is, it's going to be a nervy one. It's going to be a nervy one. But Kieran Hardy took so long to release it there. Lucky that Liam Williams is there in the end. So nervous there, man. Scrum for Wales then on the halfway line. That's the only thing I have with Kieran Hardy is his box kicking. Otherwise, I think he speeds the game really well. He did really well against Scotland last week. Our scrum has looked okay. Our lineup has looked a bit squeaky over the opening 2 games, but resetting the scrum here. Come on. Come on, boys. Solid first scrum here is what we need. Just to get on the right side of the ref more than anything, to be honest. What's going on here? A change. Makavunipola's off. Injured, it seems. He's picked up a little knock. So opening 8.5 minutes for Wales here. Wales leading 3-0. Maritoje only scoring with a charge down. Kieran Hardy, I don't know, man. He's got to have more support around him. They've got to be watching where Toje is going to run. He's the most obvious person who's going to do something like that. We are going to be having a guest. He is in the house. Here we go then. Let's get our guest in. It is, of course, Capo Starkey. Is Kyle from his channel, Capo Starkey. Kyle, how are you doing, my friend?
Yes, I'm not bad, Brandon. Thanks for inviting me on again, albeit I know we've just kicked off, so still a few minutes in. Yeah, but no, thank you for having me on again. As I see, I've got the right colour of shirt out. I just quickly ran to get one of my ref tops, so...
You're wearing the right colours. If you're wearing any other colour than that, you would have been booted straight off. But welcome, thank you for jumping on.
Well, I do technically have a white vest underneath this, so you know.
I can't see it, so I don't know.
Not that I need to show that, but yeah, no.
The first 8 minutes or so, 9 minutes.
I'd say decent start for Wales, getting the 3 points. Maro Itoje, as he often is, being an absolute nuisance so far. That looked late there. Oh, never mind. Being an absolute nuisance so far. And England mostly been absolutely boring with their kicking and all that. And To be honest, it's mainly just because of that. I'm back in Wales really to win this one.
Yeah. I think we've taken the game. We've taken the initiative, haven't we? England are looking to attack here daily with the ball in hand. But quickly, I know we're watching this game, but your thoughts on the earlier game today, Ireland against Italy? Ben Young in space. Oh, advantage for England.
See what happens here, then I'll let you know.
Yeah. Foul, tackle by Faletau. Come on, defence now.
I just caught offside there.
I
turned in.
There we go. But yeah, thoughts on the game earlier?
Very hard to analyse because I thought Ireland did look a bit better than they did against France, but not much better. Mainly, again, just because it's Italy, I always find Italy games very hard to gauge where like the teams above them are at. Italy again, they had their moments with the ball, as you were saying in your live stream, which I watched along some of it. But defensively, they are absolutely all over the shop. I mean, they won't be able to afford them, of course, but they'll need someone like a Sean Edwards or someone with that kind of coaching mentality to get their defense organized because they're just all over the place there. And just Ireland generally just a better team and looked a bit better than they did a couple of weeks ago. But again, taking into account the opposition, it's hard to tell how much. I still fancy us against them in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I thought Ireland did look a bit better. The problem for Italy, I find, Owen Fowler's just going to line up this kick and we'll certainly get it. It's right in front of the post. The problem with Italy is they dominate possession, they dominate territory, but they're just not clinical. They just don't have that final pass or that final move or that final line or whatever it is that they need. And in defence, you say they're awful, really. So naive. I thought they missed Stephen Varney a lot today. I thought they missed him quite a bit.
Definitely agree with his spark from 9, which he's brought a bit to the first 2 games. I think Brayley's like I think he's a decent number 9, but I think Varney, the young lad, he's bringing a bit of spark into it. But yeah, as you say, sort of they seem to get themselves in position. They go through a few phases, then it either stalls or they make a mistake and they just run out of ideas. And then when they do run out of ideas, they get punished up the other end. So it's
they work quite well. They do something well, and then you think they're going to push on and do something else a bit better, but then they make a penalty or something silly like that. Makavunipola is back. And Owen Fowler's just kicked that point, so he's coming 3 all, 12 minutes gone here. I'm so nervous. This is the one game every year that I get really nervous for. Really nervous for. And but I'm impressed by how we started, to be honest. And I just want Alan Wynne to start talking little words to Carl Sinclair, just whispering little things.
Well, that's you're letting your Welsh bias and your cynicism trying to come out there, man. But no, I mean, I just think just play the rugby and Alan Wynne-Jones as much as Eddie Jones, obviously he's we all know he's got a big gob himself, so he's one to talk about players having big gobs on the pitches, and he. But no, I think just play the rugby, play like all players do to the line, but don't push the line too much, and should be in a good place. Because I really don't think this England team are that good right now.
No. This is the first time I would say that I'm pretty confident going into the game. Obviously, because it's Wales against England, I'm going to be nervous, and I have actually backed Wales to win by 3 to 6 points.
Yeah,
in this of course, we just got a penalty now. Big will send this into the 22. I think this England team can be got at, and I think what Pivac's done today, he said, doesn't matter if you're particularly playing well, I'm going with my strongest team, and the strongest team, he's put out on paper the strongest team we can put out on paper.
Right.
Jonathan Davis coming back in, Josh Adams coming back in, so it's a strong side.
Even Hardy at scrum half, I know you're not a massive fan of him.
He's an interesting one. He does speed the game up. We just lost our own line out there, just outside the England 22, which is a bit annoying, but Hardy speeds the game up. That box kick was worrying because that Malatoja is going to do that, but maybe he just needs more players around him to support him on that. I personally would have Reece Webb in the squad. I would start Webb at 9 for Wales. If Thomas Williams was fit, obviously Thomas Williams starts, but he's not fit. So Hardy over Gareth Davis for me.
I mean, it does look like he's got a better pass on him than Davis does. To be fair, I'll be honest, I've only seen bits and pieces of Hardy, so most of what I know about him is what you've told me and what I saw when he came on against Scotland. And to be fair, when he came on a couple of weeks ago, he was whipping the ball out, I thought, quick and passing better than Gareth Davis was on the whole. So no, I mean, based on that, I think he's earned a start, but it's hard to. I mean, I was gonna say, like, where do you think like Wales are at? Because I think it's quite hard because in the first two matches, like both teams played at the very least like a quarter of both over a quarter of both matches. Pardon me, with 14 men, like so.
Yeah,
where would you say Wales are at?
It's difficult, isn't it? We've got a driving maul on here now, which is looking pretty good, and then it goes down the minute I say it looks pretty good. I think we've been doing the simple things very well. I think that's what we've been doing well. I don't think we're seeing Pivac's style yet. I think Pivac realised in the autumn that it's just not working. Maybe the players aren't buying into it enough at the minute. And so it's just gone back to get results. And do you know what? I'll absolutely take it. I've never thought in a million years that we'd be going for a triple crown against England, having beaten Scotland away and beaten Ireland as well.
Why?
I know that with the red cards, of course, in my opinion, both of them were reds. We have got a penalty here for England not rolling away, so we'll probably take the penalty, you think. But yeah, I'm quite happy actually, and I think he's slowly getting to his starting 15 who he wants. So he's sorted out the front row, which is Wyn Jones, Ken Owens, and Thomas Francis, which seems to be working okay. And I think he's got his back row, and I think it is Faletau. I think it is going to be Navidi and Tipuric as well. And I think that's a heck of a back row as well. Yeah. So I think we're in a good place. Obviously, this game is going to be a big test for us. And then who knows with the rest of the tournament? Obviously, we'll beat Italy comfortably. But then France, who knows what's going to happen with them? Foul getting caught there.
Well, that could be a really tasty game, actually. Like, potentially could have been the Grand Slam decider. But, oh, wait.
One!
Is that a try?
Yes! Get in! Josh Adams with a lovely try. Quickly,
very good.
Quickly take What a kick!
What's Farrell complaining about here?
Here we go. Farrell getting angry.
Oh, it's because I think the referee was having a word with him about that, and then.
Let's see. I'm listening.
He had it because I think the referee was wanting Farrell to have a word with the England team, and then Wales got a bit. You could argue a bit sneaky there and just chipped it cross field while they weren't. But that's England's fault more though, because there's that's teams used to do that quite a lot. I don't see it as much these days. Where that's England's fault. They're just all gathered there, not paying attention at all. So
it's a lovely kick. Josh Adams gets in there. Brilliant kick across.
I mean, he's got. I'm sorry, Farrell's got no right to complain there. I mean, that's just not paying attention.
Yeah, tough kick for Bigger now, but he's got it as well. You beauty, 10 points to 3. Lovely kick, brilliant stuff. Oh, good start. I'm not counting my chickens yet. But. It's a lovely kick across. And I can see it from Farrell's point of view, but because I'm Welsh, I just don't see it today. But do you know what? Great awareness there from Bigger. People have been talking about Bigger, saying he's not attack-minded enough. He doesn't read the game well enough. He doesn't go forward enough. But for me, people talking about Sheedy starting today was ridiculous. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous.
I think the thing is, I think Sheedy was another one a couple of weeks ago who, like in his running game, he looks like he's got talent, but his kicking game, he's still not there yet. And I think it would have been a bit. I mean, the thing is Halfpenny. Is he injured for this game, or has he just been dropped?
He's injured. He is still injured, so he's still out. He's had a lot of injuries, and it's a concern because every injury takes longer and longer for him to come back. That's a great kick. Fair play by England. Right into the corner.
They've got an advantage there. Because I would have said maybe like it would be an idea to put Sheedy in at 10 if you had Halfpenny in the team as well, kicking the goals. But I mean, it's still like a pretty well the centers, like obviously both individually fantastic players, and North and the Fox, and John Davis, of course. But, both more North, of course, more a wing, and Davis more a 13 and a 12. But I mean, still that 3/4 lines, like still some very tasty 3/4 line you've got there.
Yeah, I think, as I said before, Pivac really has gone for the best team on paper that there is. I think Jonathan Davis being fit, you've got to play him. He's world class. North, do you know what? He's done all right in the centre, 100 caps as well. Amazing achievement from him. He really has had a lot of tough times over the years, but fair play to him. He's done really well, and he's got back into form. England do have a penalty here. We'll look to.
Yeah, I think Farrell will get this.
Yeah, he should do.
Aye.
But no, it's a strong team.
Aye. It's one of the things actually Farrell is doing right now, is mostly right now, is his goal kicking. The rest of his game has just been he's got that one.
Yeah, he's got that one for sure. If you are watching and you have not yet done so, do subscribe here on YouTube, and also check out Kyle's channel. I'll drop a link to Kyle's channel as well. Kyle does lots of match reactions and previews as well. So check out Kyle's channel as well. 10 points to 6 then, nearly halfway through this first half. To be
fair, my Italy Ireland one was perhaps the shortest one I've ever done, because I just, apart from the basics of what everyone saw, I cannot think of anything else to say about that game.
It was one of them things, wasn't it? Like, Ireland could have had more on the day, obviously, because of the disallowed tries.
They had 2 disallowed tries, because that one in the first half.
The Henderson one, I think, was a try. I didn't see anything wrong with that personally. So
yeah, I mean, because I think because the referee said that Romain Poit, who was the TMO, had said to him that it wasn't a try afterwards. But I don't know. Maybe I wasn't paying full attention to it, but I didn't hear Romain Poit coming over and speaking to him. I just kind of. I thought, I've done this a few times as a referee as well, where like you kind of think like, something's happened, you're maybe a little bit unsure, and then you sort of have to try and feel like you're bluffing your way out just to make sense. I thought Matteo Reynal did that a little bit there, but I might be wrong, I might have missed it, but that's just what I thought with that one. But I agree with you. I did think it was a try, because he got downward pressure on the ball as he grounded it.
Let's have a look at some of the things you're saying in the chat. YouTube, welcome back, my friend. If England don't win the Six Nations, they'll be celebrating as Scotland have won it. No comment on that one. Interesting here. That's not a try for me. England had no time to set themselves, so the referee made it very clear he would give them time. I don't know about that. I don't think he's said to them that he's going to give them time as such.
The thing is, though, he did say, he wanted them, by the looks of things, he wanted to have a word with them. I don't know. I think teams generally expect that's giving him time, but you've still got to have your blinkers on, because I remember this happened 2004, Ireland against South Africa. I don't know if you remember that game, where it was on, Ireland were in the attack, and it was in the sort of red zone, and then the referee, who was Paul Honus, who's the ex-New Zealand referee, he told John Schmidt, who was the South African captain at the time, to have a word with his team. And while that happened, Ronan O'Gara then just took the quick tap and just went straight for the corner. But at the same time, you think, in those situations, the players, you've got to have more players on the outside actually paying attention, because especially when there's areas around the breakdown, the main players you're going to be wanting to speak to are your forwards, because obviously that's where most of their impact's coming from. So I just think, like, so you need a couple of players outside just paying attention, because it's within the laws that as soon as the team have the ball to go for the penalty, they can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, exactly. So I do see it from both sides, but that's how it is. England maybe dominated a little bit at the breakdown here, slightly. England looking to play it, played, knocks it. Oh, they're going back to the original penalty, which is okay.
I've no doubt Eddie Jones will find a gripe in that, though.
Yeah, there'll be something. I was quite surprised it took so long for something to be said this week. I know Botham, the former England cricketer, said a few words, and then I know that Eddie Jones later in the week said a few words, but it was very quiet for an England versus Wales match during the week. It was really quiet, which I found very strange, but I think Gatland maybe would say more. I don't get the sense that Pivac would really say all that much, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, to be fair, like, sort of Pivac isn't that kind of coach where he looks to rile up the media. He's normally pretty straightforward. I mean, I'm not going to say boring, but there's nothing that really comes out of Pivac's press conferences where you come out as striking as like, oh my God, he said that.
Yeah.
Whereas that's what Eddie Jones more or less thrives on. So
yeah, definitely. But yeah, Eddie Jones isn't everyone's cup of tea, but he's a character in the game, isn't he? Tomorrow, no France against Scotland. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, obviously for obvious reasons, with the amount of positive cases coming out of France, and it was just kind of getting to the point where you think not really a choice here. The current things going on right now, and also I think obviously there's still arguments can be made as to whether in the current climate it's fair for teams to travel to France or France to travel here, vice versa. But no, I think the right decision was taken to postpone it. It's disappointing, but it's the way it is, and there could be question marks called into what France's safety protocols are. I mean, I'm still going with the assumption they were just unlucky, or one of two of them got unlucky, and then they just spread to the rest of the squad. So until that's proven otherwise, that's my stance on it.
Yeah. Oh, Kieran Hardy box kicks okay. That's fine. I was holding my breath on that one.
Aye.
How did you feel going into that game in general, though? Were you confident, or were you pretty nervous? Or did you think, okay, they've got a couple of COVID cases, they're missing Dupont, so maybe we do stand a chance? Or was it still quite nervous?
Well, I was honestly, obviously gutted when I first heard about Dupont, because I mean, I'm one of those supporters. I know there's a lot of supporters who would be saying, "Oh yeah, great, they don't have their star men in the team," but I'm one of those. I want to see us play against their star men, so we can, even if we lose, we can at least compete against the best. But no, I mean, in terms of form, France were definitely favourites, and I was going in a bit nervous. But I mean, also just with how we played at Twickenham, I was confident that we could at the very least push them. Not saying we would have won necessarily, but at the very least give them a good game. And but again, is what it is now, and it's not likely to be going ahead till at the end of March. So far, is what I'm reading, but again, there's no confirmation of that yet, so we'll see. Yeah,
we'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, it's a bit cagey now, a bit scrappy. Not much of a flow to the game.
Aye.
Wales are the line here, so
England still look like they have no imagination whatsoever when they have the ball. Just case of forwards just either trunking it up. I mean, there's been a couple of times Elliot Daly's tried to run out from the back, but then it breaks down or something happens after a couple of phases later. It's just
we're a bit narrow there. I do worry for us at the breakdown. England are fairly dominant. Bit of space out here, though. Adam, squad.
I
just put it down.
Piece of play.
We are finding little pockets of space. Some of them are out wide, and with the likes of Josh Adams and Louis Rees-Zammit, two fantastic wingers.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of options. England decided to kick it down to Louis Rees-Zammit. A couple of comments here as well. Interestingly, I think they should give us the 28-0 win. France's fault. The players broke the laws. I heard a few players went out.
I don't fully agree with that.
Yeah, it says I heard a few of the players went out after the Italy win. Don't know if it's true, but it's what I heard. I've not heard that, so I can't comment on that. Doug Van Evans is watching on Facebook. Get the game up, goddammit. I'm not allowed to. That's copyright, mate. My channel will be shut down. It is live on S4C. It's live on BBC One. You can watch it for free. This is simply a watch along, my friend. So watch it on S4C or BBC. You can watch it on the iPlayer. If you're watching this on Facebook, you can watch it on the iPlayer for free. So you can do that. So that is your option to do that. But you're welcome to enjoy the chat and our semi-decent analysis, I'd say. Semi-decent. Try not to be too biased.
Well, it's kind of a role reversal from a couple of weeks ago, isn't it? Where I was the one getting really passionate. You're a bit more impartial and calm. And I did enjoy the bits of your watch along with the three bods group. You did, where I was seeing you lose your shit was quite funny. Pardon the language.
No, it was. We the first half was really bad, and we got a try right at the end, which gave us a lifeline. And then Louis Summit just turned up. Do you know what I mean?
I'd rather. I don't know. I'm kind of getting over it now, but yeah, just because I don't know, just because I was so gutted. There was a couple of days I just really didn't want to. I didn't want to watch it again, but to be fair to Reece Zammit, that try right at the end was very, very well taken.
Yeah. Oh, lovely bit of space.
This is looking good.
Faletau.
Aye. I will say though, Wales's attack this year, you do look like you are generally playing like a bit tighter, because last year I thought you were trying to throw it around a bit too much.
Too expansive, weren't we? And then when we'd lose the ball, we'd be all over the place, and teams would just simply counter attack. We saw that against Ireland in last year's Six Nations. I remember Stockdale had half the pitch to play everything. I was like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's a chance. Oh, unlucky.
Oh, knocked on.
Oh, he knocked it.
He did knock it on. I'm pretty sure he's knocked it on, but we'll come back from the original advantage,
I think he's checking that. I think Reece Zammit just knocked it on there after he kicked it on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's knocked that on.
Aye. But no, that's the thing, sort of, you seem to be getting a good balance between knowing when to, trunk it up and knowing when to go wide. Let's have a look.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think I don't think he can give that.
No, he's not gone to his leg, and then.
Thing is, though, if he's put his boot out and put his leg out, and it's.
No, it is. Oh, is it though?
Oh, that's
his hand gone backwards, come off Watson, and Liam Williams has gathered it. This might be a try.
Let's have a.
I think this is a try.
Oh, it went. Oh, yeah, that's
a try. This is going to be a try.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a try.
Have a look.
Off his hand.
Off his leg, and then went back and off Slade.
Sorry. That should be a try.
Let's have another.
I think that's a try, personally. This would be a massive score.
Because the thing is, if it has kind of gone. I mean, it's going forward, but the ball's kind of gone like that and sideways, and then off his leg and gone backwards. That's fair play.
I think it's a try, and I'm not being biased.
No, I think so too.
As long as Liam Williams' grounding's okay, I don't see an issue with this.
Yeah, I think that's a try, mate. Yeah, no, they've.
Is he giving it?
Yeah, I think that's going to be given, mate. They've viewed it the same way we have.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
No. Yeah, it's given.
Yes. Oh, look at Eddie. Look at him.
I know. You just look at his eyes there. He's like,
oh, brilliant. I mean, it's so fortuitous, but we've had space on the wings. There's been little pockets of space. It is fortuitous. It is lucky on the bounce. Like, that's just, on another day, that bounces off his hand and hits the ground and goes forward. But you've got to be in the right places to score. And we have been.
The thing is, the thing is that by law, it's absolutely right, because he's kind of knocked it and it's gone. If it goes off his leg, I mean, if it had gone off his leg like that and gone forward, yeah, it probably would have been a knock on, because he hasn't made an attempt to kick it. But the fact it came off his leg and went backwards, no, that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine.
I think it's fine.
I know it's might be a few ref meetings going on later in the week where they're like, this is going to come up, but
yeah, it's going to be interesting. Dan Bigger, let's see if we can add this to next score after this is massive in the context of the game, isn't it?
Oh,
he's just
well done.
What the kick! So 17 points to 6. Wales lead.
Have to ask this: how does it feel to be outplaying 15 men so far?
Can't say I've ever felt like this before. It's a new feeling. I don't know what it feels. I've never experienced this.
Nice.
But I don't know. I think England have not shown any what's the word I'm looking for? Any creativity. There's been no creativity. And although we haven't created that much, we've looked dangerous going forward. I think we have knocked this one on. And I do think it'll be England's ball at the scrum.
No, I mean, England with the ball are just showing nothing so far. I mean, literally nothing. Like, at least like with Wales, when they have it, they're actually, trying to move it, they're showing good initiative. As I was saying, getting a better balance right of when to just keep it tight and truck it up and when to spread it wide. And I think they've also spotted a bit of a weakness in the England out wide defence because there's times their wingers, Watson and May, are getting caught just going sort of up, and then their Wales are finding a way to go around them. It's sort of good reading there, but
England's chance to attack here. There's a bit of space out wide, and Elliot Daly's knocked it forward. And someone's down injured for Wales. Is he okay? Yeah, he's all right. Liam Williams is all right. Well, for England, that was a big chance there because there was men out wide. There was space.
Yeah.
There's no pressure on him collecting that ball either.
No.
Ooh. So 8 minutes to go until half-time. Wales leading 17 points to 6. 2 maybe lucky tries, but legally fine, but they have been lucky, I'll be honest, but legally they've been fine. But England have not shown enough to suggest that they're going to do anything, really. That I'm not worried about this. Obviously, I'm worried because it's England and we know that they can turn up. The power play can come on, and you look at their bench and who could come on. But so far, what I've seen so far, I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be. I mean, that move just there before Daly knocked it on, that was about as initiative, as innovative, pardon me, as I've seen them all game so far. And they just, they just don't look like they're offering anything.
It's good.
And Wales, to be fair, as much as folk could argue about the tries, Wales deserve to be in front as far as they are.
Definitely. Come on, Kieran Hardy. Good kick here now.
Yeah, he's right there. I was just about to say there's 2 Welsh players in front did look just offside.
That's a simple penalty to give away. It's annoying.
Well, but the thing is, referees are very inconsistent with picking it up. I think because we saw it was a couple of times that Matteo Renal picked up in the Italy-Ireland game, and I was thinking, oh, finally, a referee is actually spotting that.
England
with their first real attack here. So
the worry for me is England's power. So like with this, I'm telling you now, they're going to receive this ball and they're going to go for a driving maul. It's going to happen, and their power is maybe a little bit of a concern. I don't know. Although we're quite a physical side,
I think again, just because obviously brains can outthink that, and Wales are just smart with how they sack this maul, which they seem to be doing so far. Holding their own.
We can hold England up here. Jamie George at the back, they're moving forward here. Done pretty well there, actually. We've actually done really well there.
But still, chance on.
Good tackle by Bigger. Bigger, don't do something stupid at the breakdown there. Oh, if he'd have gone wide. Advantage. Thomas Francis, you melon.
I think that was George North not rolling away at the tackle, mate.
Oh, this does not look good.
Let's try.
Oh, nice try. Fair play to England, though. That's what I said about their power. That's just their power.
They got some pace on the ball as well.
No, it is a good try for England. A lot of power there, and Yeah, I mean, Louis Rees-Zammit going forward is brilliant, and I'm not saying he should have completed that tackle on Watson there, but he needs to put a bit more on him, in my opinion. He's not the biggest lad. Or was it Josh Adams? It might have been Josh Adams.
No, it was Adams, and
Adams needs to put maybe a bit more on him, go a bit lower.
It was Liam Williams who missed the first tackle, and then.
But that's massive for England before half-time, just before half-time. If we'd have held them out there, you're starting to think,
I mean, I know it's easy for me to say here because obviously Liam Williams is on the run going across, but he has to get a bit lower there and trust that, because they had Josh Adams alongside, just trust Josh Adams does the job in the upper half. Not that I'm condoning going too high, of course, but just sort of bat himself there and got a bit lower. He would have got his legs, but yeah.
Not the easiest conversion, but you'd expect foul to get this.
See YouTube saying England are the worst British team at the moment, and then says that in the score. Misses.
Love unlucky. Unlucky there. So England 11 points to 17. Wales leading this one. But I mean, I'd 100% take this at halftime, a 6-point gap. It's something I'd 100% have taken. But I think we deserve to be in the lead.
Absolutely. I mean, that's, I think, that bit of play is about the only real kind of initiative I've seen England take so far. Actually.
Oh, Liam, what are you doing? Oh, no. Can't concede before half time. Let it go.
I did.
That was poor from Liam Williams, really. Just trying to be too clever, maybe.
Oh, great.
It's a great, brilliant from Curry. Fair play to him.
Yeah, I think he was a...
Nothing silly at this line out, boys. Nice, that's fine. Well then.
Oh, that was a...
We're a bit narrow in defence. Go on. Oh,
I think he's hurt himself there.
He has. Do we keep the ball for 50 seconds here?
No, I think it's...
I just kick.
Go for the box just to get a bit of... Oh, very good.
Damn, that was nice. Right. 30 seconds to go. Johnny Mate. He's just run into his own player. He can't do that.
He wasn't really blocking a tackler though, so it's kind of that's fine.
George Ford. If we get this ball now, we just keep it safe for a bit. Oh, where's that gone? Oh, I don't know. Who's that come off?
How's he playing on?
How's he playing on?
Oh, no, not anymore. That's a knock on.
I don't think anyone knew what happened there. I was so surprised that they were carrying on.
Not looking good for Hardy.
He's holding his shoulder.
Was that? I want to have a look. Was that a knock? That looked a knock on from Josh Adams there.
Josh Adams 100% knocked that on. That's why I was so surprised that he carried on.
Yeah, they just seemed everyone was stopping apart from George Ford for England. And,
It was so confusing.
I mean, yeah, he's got. It was the Josh Adams knock on they've gone back to.
If we'd got that try, then I'd understand people's frustration. 100%.
No, but the thing is, though, you actually look at it. George Ford kind of went round and then he just punched the ball backwards.
Yeah.
So you could, if that had, the Josh Adams one had been spotted, he could have said that was a fair try. Ball had gone, but.
So England will have the scrum on the halfway line.
Aye.
See if England can do anything before half time.
To be fair, up front, you've been doing pretty well against them so far. I haven't seen England taking any kind of real initiative in that area.
No, we have been. I think, as I said, with the front row, I think Pivac's settled on that now. He knows who his front row is going to be. Our scrum has gotten a lot more solid. I think one of the best players we've had this competition has got to be Wyn Jones. I think he's been he's been good. That one turnover he got against you guys, which really turned the game for us because you were really putting the pressure on, and his work play around the loose and his power dominated there. That's going to be a penalty.
Okay.
Advantage.
Oh, it's a chance.
This is a try, unless Louis Summit. Oh, great tackle.
Good tackle there.
Oh, come on,
defense. I think it was George North who got caught out there.
Still advantage here. Big tackle there.
I think George North got caught out there.
Yeah, I think so as well. Okay, we'll come. If England just get 3 points here, I wouldn't be too annoyed about that.
I want to have a look at that pass again, just to, if they go to the replay.
Yeah, they're going to go for the points.
Let's have a look. Yeah. That's a really good pass. Thing is, because George North committed himself there, so either he has to take the ball or he has to take man and ball.
Yeah.
And just the whip that George Ford got on that pass just really took it away from him for a potential interception. So I think you could have argued George North could have held his line and wait, but sort of up this, I think you got to credit the pass more there.
So Farrell will add the 3 points. It will be then half time. We'll take a quick 2-minute break, but then we'll be back to dissect the first half and also watch the second half together. Farrell will make this 17-14.
Yeah.
Which he does, and that is half time. So Wales leading down at the Principality, 17 points to 14. Myself and Kyle are going to jump off for about 2 to 5 minutes or so, and then we'll be back to dissect the first half. Don't go anywhere. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out Kyle's channel as well. We'll be back very shortly.
See you in 2 minutes, guys.
There we go. It is half-time down at the Principality. Wales leading 17 points to 14. Some controversial decisions in this game, and we'll get to them shortly. I am joined, of course, by Kyle. How are you doing, Kyle? How are you feeling after that first half of rugby? What do you think?
Well, I was just watching some of the chat they're saying here. I think it was, good actually when both teams tried to play a bit. England started to come into it more towards the end of the second half when they were actually tried to play and move the ball about with ball in hand. And Wales have played very well the first half an hour. So, and again against 15 men. And obviously the two Welsh tries, which are controversial talking points. I've just seen on BBC Martin Johnson saying he's absolutely furious with it. I can understand where he's coming from as a captain because, but I looked at it myself and he told Owen Farrell to have a word with his team. And Owen Farrell then basically had a word with them, but it was like about 10 to 15 seconds like afterwards when he eventually said to, sort of time on. And then, he did make it clear it was time on. I mean, he could have communicated a bit better, the referee, but he'd also called his wingers in, because he was saying the whole team. And I mean, I know this, from a captain's point of view, I can see why Owen Farrell's frustrated, but, at the same time, you got to have players paying attention, and I've seen that happen many times before in games. And, I think is also we want. Sorry, just one more wee point now. Thing is also you got to take into account, we're wanting the game to be sped up, and we're wanting to see more, see less of this dawdling about like we see in scrum. So,
Yeah, true. I think the thing is that according to the law, the ref hasn't done anything wrong. He's done everything, and Wales have done everything according to the law. But is it the right way to do it? Because obviously he's blown the whistle for the penalty for time back on, and Bigger's gone bump like that. It's just really good awareness. I can see it from Owen Farrell's point of view as well. The ref has said specifically, if we just go talk to your players, you get your players in to talk to them, and all of a sudden then the penalty's starting and you're not set up at all. It's difficult. By law, there's nothing wrong with that. But
if you want to break down the technicalities, because the referee did say time on just as Bigger kicked the ball, and England did have 10, 15 seconds. So I don't know. I mean, by law, you're right. Nothing's been done wrong, but you could argue he should have been clearer in his communications with regards to when I say time is on. I don't know if he did that. When I say time is on, they're basically entitled to do what they want with the penalty. But also, you could argue a bit naive, as I said earlier, from England, because when you're talking about breakdown penalties, I think primarily you'd want mostly the forwards and maybe more of the centre backs around there. But the fact that both wingers have come flying in to be part of the conversation as well, it just, I don't know, you could argue that's bad management on Owen Farrell's part as well, maybe. So,
yeah. And then obviously the second try for Wales, we're both in agreement that's a try, isn't it? 100%.
Yeah, I think, because it comes off his hand and then it kind of goes sideways. It doesn't go clearly backwards or forwards. It comes off his leg and goes back off Henry Slade's knee. And then Liam Williams is obviously entitled to do what he wants after that. So, yeah, I don't see a problem there. But
there's no problem with that for me. Just a reminder, guys, I will not be showing the actual game because of copyright. I don't have more money than the BBC. So somehow I do not. But if you're new here and you want to join in the chat and the banter as we watch this game together, get involved in the comments, subscribe as well, and let us know your thoughts on this first half. We've got a question here, which will be quite interesting. What is it about Wales? They're underprepared, the worst team on paper, the top 4 nations. Not sure about that. Many injured players, regions that struggle, and yet they always seem to turn up. What is it? It's a big debate here in Wales with the regions, because the regions, bar Ospreys this season, have been pretty poor, if I'm being totally honest, mediocre at best. But for whatever reason, when this team gets together, and I do think we've had players in this squad who have been in this squad for 10 years nearly, maybe, around that time. If you think about Bigger's been there for around 10 years. You think of Faletau, Alan Wynne, of course, Liam Williams, Lee Halfpenny, people like that have all been in. So there's that continuation, there's that understanding between the players. But then you could compare it to Ireland, And you say the regions in Ireland are doing really well at the minute. Munster top of their conference, obviously Leinster top of theirs, Ulster in second. And yeah, the national team maybe isn't where it should be compared to what the regions are doing. So it's an interesting debate here in Wales. Do you know much about that in Scotland? Because this season, obviously, the two teams in Scotland this year are struggling as well. Edinburgh lost today. I know Glasgow have Leinster tomorrow night, and both teams are struggling. Do you think it's similar in Scotland?
Not really, because we don't have as many players to pick from. So we're more or less in mostly the cases of the best players available to us will take. But no, there's yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of problems with our grassroots. I think with over the last 10 years or so, I relied, pardon me, too much on foreign imports from South Africa or from New Zealand or wherever. And we still obviously produce good players like Stuart Hogg, Finn Russell. I mean, I was going to say Hamish Watson, but we poached him from Leicester. He was a part of the Leicester Academy apparently, and then Edinburgh managed to snap him up because he apparently wasn't good enough for them. So he's now part of us. But no, I think I want to see us going forward, looking more to youth talent from here. And bear in mind, that's no disrespect when any of the foreign imports who've come over here, if they're good enough and they've done their time with their residency rule or they're eligible through the grandparent rule and they're good enough, that's absolutely fine. But I don't want that to be as like a cop out for our youth system, which needs a lot of improvement over here.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd say Wales and Ireland are on paper at least ahead of us in that department, as well as the fact they've got 2 extra clubs each they can pick from for their players.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there are a lot of issues in the regional game. Just a reminder as well, we're doing the Welsh Rugby Roundup show on Monday on the 3BOD Facebook page. I'll drop a link to that in the chat now. 8:30 UK time, wrapping up regional news, but also looking back on this past weekend of Six Nations. So I'll drop a link to the Facebook page. Go give that a like and a follow. And then, you can join us on that one. We'll look at some stats quickly before the second half now. Let me just drop this in the chat. There we go. So I'll share my screen so we can see. And there we go. So the stats look like this. Possession, Wales with 57% to 43 of England, which isn't particularly that surprising. Territory then 55 to 45% in favour of Wales. Time in possession actually is pretty equal, 7 minutes to 8 minutes. Time in opposition 22, 2 minutes 44 to 1 minute 36. Possession in opposition 22 looks pretty equal on the whole as well. In open play, Wales have kicked a little bit more than England, but more passes. That just shows from the possession, of course. But on the whole, it looks fairly equal, if I'm being totally honest. Nothing really stands out that makes me think, oh, this is a bit worrying. Like scrums, Wales in the scrum have looked okay. When England have the ball, I expect England to dominate at the scrum. That's just what I expect them. But we've held our own, which is really important because we have struggled at the set pieces. Looking at discipline then, it's 5 to 7 penalties. So not bad from both teams at all, really. Offside pens 2 for Wales. That's just a little bit needless, really. Penalties conceded on the ground 2 to 3. So it's been a fairly balanced game, really, on the whole. But I do think Wales deserve to be ahead. So what are you saying for the second half? What do Wales need to do to win this one? And what do England need to do to win this one, do you think?
For Wales's point of view, when they have the ball, just keep doing what they're doing when they get into England's half. Try and, sharpen up a bit on a few areas. Like Liam Williams towards the end of that half, he missed the tackle on Anthony Watson. Then he had the charge down. His game needs to sharpen up a bit, I'd say. Just again, try and make sure you're playing England's half. With England, so far they seem to be having the momentum going to the second half because that last 10 minutes was all them. I'd say again, obviously some degree of kicking is needed, but actually try and play with the ball in hand a bit more and spread it wide. Because the thing is, when England actually do play with pace and spread the ball a bit, they look very dangerous. And on paper they've still got obviously really quality players. So I mean, if I were England, I'd just say obviously make sure you're doing what you're doing. Make sure you win your set piece list. You're trying to get an upper hand in the scrum, which Wales are doing for the most part most part Wales are doing okay, like in neutralising them. But at the same time, like actually when you get an opportunity, back yourselves because they can play with pace. And Wales, I'd say, trying to do the same, but also with George North's defence, he's made some good tackles. At times, he's been right with when he's come in. Because the thing is, if you're a 13 and you're shooting it off the line, as I was saying, you have to either take the ball or you have to take man and ball. And there's still a few times he's still, I think, is liable to get caught out there. So I tell him to, get a little bit better balance as to when to do that. But yeah, we'll see how the second half goes.
Yeah, we're kicking off now for the second half. So do get your thoughts in the chat. Any questions you got for us, be sure to get them in. We will look at the benches in a bit, in about the next 10 to 15 minutes, to see what both teams have the options. But yeah, I think the halftime whistle came at a good time for us, to be honest. We were struggling a little bit, if I'm being totally honest. And it came at a good time. Gives Pivac a bit of time to sit down with the players have a break, regather, because England were looking very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say also don't give England anything cheaply at all.
Because Favre's a decent goal kicker on the whole, isn't he?
Yeah, not just that. Just like if you with knock-ons or like silly penalties where someone gets caught in the side or whatever. Just it obviously you're always going to be liable to give away a few. That's just sometimes a lottery. But don't do anything that's just so blatantly obvious to the referee.
Yeah. Bit of box kicking going on. The things you love to see in rugby.
I don't mind the box kicking actually if it's executed well. It's just all this sort of ping pong faffing about, like
a bit in Italy versus Ireland, didn't we? We saw a little bit of that for a bit. I think it was BC and Sexton as well, just pinging it back to each other. I think Gibson Park got involved, and I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah. Aye. That guy BC though, I think he's a talent, but his kicking game out of hand is, off the tee, he's okay, but his kicking out of hand needs a lot of improvement if he wants to go on to be like a really good international number 10.
I think Italy's, as we spoke about before, it's very difficult to judge teams against Italy. But if you look at Italy, I think they've improved going forward in their build-up plays, that clinical edge that they're really missing. Defensively, they're so naive, and I think that comes how young they are. I think if they can keep this core of players together now, and obviously they're missing some big players as well, they could really build with this team. And the idea of kicking Italy out of the Six Nations, for me, it just doesn't help the situation. I'd be open to seeing a promotion relegation, but I wouldn't be open to kicking Italy flat out. I just don't see what that achieves for Italian rugby or for the Six Nations, because if Italy were to play Georgia now, I'd be very confident that Italy would beat the Georgians by 15 to 20 points. I think they would pretty comfortably. But promotion and relegation, I'd be in favour of. What do you think on Italy at the minute?
Yeah, it is at the point now. I mean, 30 matches lost in a row, and I'm just trying to think here. They've lost something like, they've only won something like once in the last 40 or something like that as well. But no, it is definitely time for, I think, a promotion relegation thing. But then also, I think if you get that, you'll get at least a few years where it is just going to be, if it's a playoff, for example, it's just going to be Italy-Georgia playing that playoff potentially. And I still think at the moment, Italy would still beat Georgia and keep their place. But down the road, if it is just Italy-Georgia and Georgia 2 come up, then it's likely, because I don't think Georgia have it yet to compete with the other 5 nations, it's likely they'll go back down again.
Penalty to England there, not releasing.
So
good work at the breakdown by England there, to be honest. It was very good work.
But no, I think like we can't just keep going on having a team that's just there basically as the whipping boys, because I think that's not good for the competition long term. And even though I think if we keep it 6 nations, that's going to be the case if it is Italy or Georgia for a good few years at least. Yeah,
definitely. I think you have to get that process started, though, of trying to bridge the gap between these tier 2 nations. It's an issue for countries like Fiji. I think Tonga and Samoa have fallen even further behind over the past few years. If you compare, like, Tonga would be in France at the Rugby World Cup in 2011, and now, really struggling, and Samoa as well. And then Japan are kind of on on the border of being a tier 1 nation and a tier 2, just on that border there. So what happens with them? Like talks of Jaguares joining the Pro 14 as well. Like so many talks.
That was a bit of a harsh penalty there because he penalised, I think, Josh Navidi for holding it on the ground. But he went on the ground and he put his hands up to try and make it clear he was trying to release. And then as England players came over the top, his body weight kind of took him into the ball. So I think that's a bit harsh there to penalise him for that. But
Farrell will look to draw level. He's hit it wide. He had the distance, but not the direction. So it remains 17 points to 14. 5 minutes gone in this second half.
His Autumn Nation form's coming back with the boot.
I think the thing with Farrell, I've got an interesting thing about him. I think Farrell's a decent player, but being a captain just doesn't suit him, if I'm to be totally honest. He really lost his head against Scotland. He lost his head against us last year in the Six Nations. Callum Sheedy's on. Wow. Already.
Interesting.
Damn bigger off. He made a big difference last week. Is it too early to bring him on?
But it depends how big it is, if he's injured or not. I don't know. But I don't know. Let's wait and see if it's too early or not.
I mean, last week, like 2 weeks ago, I think he brought the change on about 50 minutes in, and Sheedy and Hardy did make a difference. Couldn't win that. Well in, Liam.
The thing is, though, I think also Bigger was injured then when he came on as well, wasn't he? Didn't he go for the head knock or something?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, with his running game, Sheedy definitely made a difference because he comes to the line a lot better than Bigger does, but it's just his goal kicking.
That was a massive concern in the game because there was one which he should have really got, and then there was one which he was unfortunate. Well, it was a bit harder, but there was one which he had to get.
Oh yeah, right.
All right, put this into the corner. Problem is, we don't have like a Lee Halfpenny who can kick from halfway and things like that, which is a massive thing to have in your team. I don't think this is in Sheedy's range.
No, I don't think he'll be. No, he's going for the corner.
Yeah. But next score, so important in this one.
Aye.
I think we've dealt better in this second half compared to the last 10 minutes. That's a decent little kick, actually.
Aye. Well, I thought that penalty that Farrell missed, Josh Navidi was a bit unlucky on.
We've already spoken about this question a little bit, Kyle, but do you want to answer it about postponing the France-Scotland game or an automatic 28-0 award to the Scots? We kind of covered it already, but quickly.
Just basically what I said already. I take basically the innocent till proven guilty stance with the French team. And if it was proven, there was a couple of players who were a bit naughty and went out celebrating. Where would they have celebrated, to be honest, actually? Who went out celebrating or did stuff they shouldn't have done outside the protocols, then I think the 28-0 thing does come into the conversation. But if not, again, just have to go with unlucky.
Go on, North!
Oh.
I thought he got through. Sheedy. Louis Rees-Summit.
Aye.
Oh, strength. Come on.
Aye.
Foot on the gas here now. Pressure on. Kieran Hardy, fair play, has really sped the game up. I've been really impressed by the speed of ball again.
Aye.
And, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of his. He has not played that much for Scarlets this season, but this game, he's really...
that's a penalty there.
Well, that's just so cynical.
Oh, there we go.
One.
Oh, good try.
Come on. Get in. Get in, Kieran. Get in, son.
England could have no complaints about that one.
No, absolutely not. And you know what? I love Kieran Hardy. He's the best scrum half we've ever had. I've never seen him. Get in. Honestly, that's brilliant from him. England, the penalty's so unnecessary from England's point of view. I don't see what that helps them. And he just sees the opportunity, like any good scrum half, just spots the opportunity and just goes. Brilliant try.
Aye.
Oh, get in. I'm so happy. Get in. Well done.
Aye, that's really clever as well, because obviously England, they But the thing is, if you're England in those situations, you kind of have to think, okay, do we risk tackling them now and like giving away another penalty, and then that's the 10-meter penalty, or do we back off? And obviously, because by law they had to back off, that's what they did. So
yeah, definitely.
It's always a difficult, like with those penalties that are so close to the line, you just have to.
Sheedy gets this 10-point gap. Thomas Francis just getting a little bit of treatment. I think he's going to be all right.
No.
Should get this, Sheedy, but he did miss one like this against Scotland. Just give us a bit of breathing space if he can get this, to be honest. 10 points is...
Yeah, and...
Come on. He's got the Johnny Wilkinson stance.
Yeah. Come on. Johnny holds that position a bit longer, though. There we go.
Yes.
Good kick.
It's in 24-14 to Wales. Half an hour to go. Great try by Kieran Hardy.
Oh, yeah, no, that's... Johnny Hill there.
Nothing controversial about that one. Absolutely nothing controversial. That is fine. And yeah, that penalty from Johnny Hill is so unnecessary. He doesn't really get anything out of it. Although we weren't going forward, we weren't like, it wasn't inevitable that we were going to score in that situation. It wasn't as if we had 2 passes out wide and we were going to score. Yeah.
England again, just you could argue they switched off, and you could say, like, if you want to be really nitpicky, you could just say they should have tackled him, and then obviously they would have been penalised again. Yeah. But
Jonathan Davis off, Willis Halaholo coming on. Don't know if that's injury related. Oh, Liam.
No, it's fine. It just came off his hand and went out, so that's fine.
Yeah, Willis Halaholo's on. It's an interesting one. Obviously, he's got some of the best stepping in the world. Not in the world. That's a bit kind, but he's a really great stepper of the ball. I'm so happy for him because he was meant to be in the squad a couple of years ago, and as you called up, got injured like a week before. And he's worked so hard. He's playing really well for the Blues, and I thought he played really well against you guys when he came on. I thought, and he's physical as well. He'll certainly get involved.
He's more a 13 though, isn't he? I mean, he's coming on for Jonathan Davis, so I'm not sure.
Defensively, you got Halaholo and North playing together. Is that solid enough? Maybe maybe you're thinking Halaholo and Watkin in that one, but no.
The thing is with North though, he's actually not doing it that bad defensively. It's just the balance. He seems to be. Oh, it's penalty to England. He seems to be like, the balance as to when to come forward and when to just like drift or hold his line. He's still a bit iffy on, because when he does come up and he takes man and ball, he's mostly doing okay. But there are a couple of times where he's come up and you just think, like, George, you just need to get a bit, read the game a wee bit better. I mean, you have to.
Fowler's going to take the points.
Because it is probably the hardest position to defend the 13 channel that you've got.
I think it's interesting with North because he's been playing really well for Ospreys over the past 6 months. So, but he's been playing well as a winger. So him playing at centre, I don't know. I don't really understand it, to be honest.
I mean,
but I don't understand it when we have other options.
Well, in attacking sense, he's I think he's a really good choice there because obviously with his strength and the angles he does run, he does make a massive impact. But yeah, with defensively, as I was saying, I think he still has some I mean, obviously we know he can tackle, and there's times he does get right with man and ball, but I think he's still got some learning to do as to when to do it. As I was saying,
Farrell with quite a simple kick. To be honest, he should be getting this one. He's missed 2 today, though. So if he wants to,
No, he's got it.
No, he's got that. 17 points to 24, then closes the gap for England. There we go.
I'm still not. I mean, as we were saying earlier, it's like it depends how the momentum goes the rest of this game. But if Wales get momentum, I'm still not convinced by Farrell's ability to pull England out of this.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We've said it quite a few times, but next score is so important again, isn't it, in this situation? Yeah. If Wales get a try now...
Oh, there we go. Charged out.
I mean, usually that's Maro Toje's job for England, but we'll throw him in there for once.
I know. To be fair to Reece Zammit, he's shown he's got more. He's a lot to his game. He's clearly a really talented kid. Like
his kicking game, I think, is underrated. Like he did one spiral kick against you, and I was like, "Where's this come from?" The try as well, the technique that he uses, the ability to have that technique at that pace. It's not an easy thing to do. Is that out on its head? No, not quite. Well played.
It's not just that. Like today, like defensively, he's been for the most part actually very good. And because normally, like players about his age, you normally expect them to be like maybe a bit live wires with the ball, but without the ball, they're still a bit indisciplined and erratic. Darcy Graham's like that for Scotland, but Reece Zammit, he looks like he's got a very good head on him for a young kid. And I've also been impressed with how he's coming in off his wing. He's like knowing when to come in and support the attack, and also like how to.
That's offside.
No, it's because he came out and then he stepped back a bit. Referee.
Yeah, I think obviously Louis Rees-Zammit is a very confident player, isn't he? And so he's very happy to come inside. We saw with North when he was low on confidence, he really just would not come and look for the ball.
Yeah, just stand in the wing.
And now he's a lot more confident and playing a lot better. I think we just need to calm things down a little bit. Playing of the pitch. There's no need to give England easy, cheap possession. I think we're making a couple of changes as well.
I can understand where it's because Halaholo went beyond the ball there, then he went back, and then obviously that's illegal. So, I can understand why the referee gave that.
Line up to England then. They've won their ball. Corey Hill's on for Wales. Adam Beard off. No, driving more's not moving all that much yet. The minute I say that, it starts to move a bit. But Ben Youngs gets it out. Good tackle, Halaholo. Oh, good tackle. Well in, lads. Go on, let's count here. Go on. Oh, Josh Adams.
Yeah.
I understand why he's kicked for the territory and the space behind, but with the likes of Louis Rees-Zammit or someone like that, who would thrive in that situation.
Yeah, no,
but I understand it. I understand why he's done it. Because if he tries an audacious pass and it doesn't come off, then you're thinking, why have you tried that in your own 22?
Well, then again, it was because it was a knock-on advantage, and it wasn't in a position where he could get an advantage if he'd done that. So, but with that though, he finds some refs can be inconsistent in that they call advantage over more or less straight away. But so I can understand. Yeah, I can understand why he's done that.
Yeah. So nearly halfway through the second half now. I'm so nervous. This is the one game that I get really nervous for. What do you think will happen with the France against Scotland game? There's talks that potentially happen next weekend, but that looks very unlikely now. What do you think would happen?
I'd hope it wouldn't happen next weekend, because I don't think it would be fair if we have to have 10 players unavailable. I think it's fair if obviously put COVID aside, it's fair if both teams can play each other with their best available teams. So I mean, if they can get that, I'm saying if they can get that at a time when both teams could be available to pick the best teams, if that's the end of the tournament or whenever it is. I understand that clubs are quite picky about the international window and that, and I'm not an expert in the ins and outs of that, but if they can get that where, again, both teams have the best teams available, if they can go for that, a date close to that, even if it is that maybe later in the year, then that's where I'd go for,
Change for England then. Johnny Hill is off, and who is on instead of him?
Charlie Ewells, I think, is
Charlie Ewells.
Bath second row.
Yeah.
I still like berate myself a little bit because I remember about a year ago I said he played for Exeter. Now he doesn't play for Bath. And
scrum, the things you love to see in rugby.
Aye. If I were Eddie Jones though, I would bring Luke Cowan-Dickie on soon. Because though Jamie George is not having a bad game, Luke Cowan-Dickie's definitely the form hooker England have available. So
scrum to England here. We've looked okay at the scrum, but England have begun to get some dominance there.
Well, a bit stationary there, so England will have to do something.
Ben Youngs reaches in to find it. Good scrum from us, though, that. Forward kicks.
Hey.
I mean, that's just a waste from England, isn't it? It's just a waste.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Hi, that's Jonathan Davis just off in his rant about it now. It's like he said, just after you say that, it's like, don't know why they kicked that. They've got to build through the phases. Oh, that's a poor kick there.
Oh, come on.
Billy
the win. Get him. Good lad.
Alan Wynne, as usual, has put another brilliant shift in today.
Do you know what? The talk about him being too old and that he's not.
God, nice.
It's a load of rubbish.
I
love it. Johnny May, tackle by George North. Great tackle. Right round the ankles. England looking dangerous, though. Defence a little bit all over the place.
Oh, what a tackle by Halaholo there.
Jeez,
whoa, what was that for? Oh, side entry, I think.
I'll take it. What two great tackles there. George North, first of all, and then Halaholo with a heck of a hit.
Yeah, let's have a look at this. Oh, yeah, fantastic. Yeah. No, referee spot on there. Tom Curry just came right from the side there to clear. Alan Wynne, so absolutely.
England have shot themselves in the foot a lot during this game. They've been got the momentum. They've been playing well. Just one little mistake like that George Ford kick, that thing from Tom Curry there.
The thing is, though, they still kick the ball away so much, but when they actually keep the ball in hand, they can be very dangerous, and they still got a lot of pace in their play.
They've looked really dangerous. You look at Watson has had ball in hand. I think Slade's looked dangerous with ball in hand. We haven't seen much of Johnny May yet, but I do think Ford makes a difference to this England team at 10. It makes such a difference to the way they play. Yeah.
No. I mean, it's not just Ford. It's like just in general. They just when they're just moving the ball about in hand because they've still had too many moments in this match where they're just kicking it away. Yeah. And it's like it's clearly that's ingrained in their heads. Like, okay, if it's a bit slow out of a scrum or a breakdown, doesn't look on, kick it. And it's like, no, you need to just try and keep the ball, go through the phases, and then the opportunities will come to you and present themselves.
Oh, Cowan-Dickie is on now for George, as you suggested. So he's just come on. So he's got 20 minutes to do something. Sheedy kicks.
Okay.
Kick tennis.
Just not forwards, I thought. No, obviously not.
How's that not gone forward?
No, I thought it was off May, but...
Oh, there's space out here. Big tackle, Navidi. Oh, don't step out there, Sheedy. This could be a try. Big tackle from Luke Summit. Sheedy stepped out the line a little bit.
Oh, good play by Youngs. Oh, no, that's great play.
Oh, that's such a poor that's a poor try to give away.
Aye. But again, see when England actually keep the ball in hand and they move it. They are very...
Yeah, they do. They do that well, but Sheedy steps out way too quick, and he's just in no man's land there.
Yeah.
And then there's that space. Obviously, then after that, the defense needs to reset and be ready to go.
Yeah, I think it was Wyn Jones who got caught out there.
Yeah, stepped a little bit to his left, and it's good sniping from Youngs.
Yeah.
Good sniping from him. Liam Williams.
I mean, I don't know. I don't fully blame Wyn Jones there because you could argue a bit naive, but Liam Williams has got to do better with that tackle there. He's got to go.
It is difficult for me stepping across that way. Ben Young's going the other way. He has to turn and.
But yeah, I think. But like Liam Williams, he's got to go lower there. I mean, even if like Ben Youngs manages to stretch out and score after he's made the tackle, you just got to make sure you make the tackle and then trust that your teammates will help you out. Doesn't always happen, but I think that's the part of team building. But
Foul to get 1,000 points for England in his career, not in this game, but imagine.
I'm old enough to remember the time that was revolutionary. Remember when he gets it? 24 each. It's going to be a tense last few minutes, mate.
It is. The heart's been going all game. It's going to be really going now. 24 piece. It's good work from Ben Youngs.
Liam Williams has got to do a lot better there.
I do and I don't. He needs to go lower to start with. But again, he's going the opposite way. Ben Youngs has gone the other way to him. His feet all twisted.
But still, you're an international fullback at that level. Like, you should be set for, as a defensive fullback, you should be set for players making those kind of runs. So you should be at least on it. Like, at least, even if Ben Youngs, like you said, stretches out and scores, at least make a proper tackle where you go low and take out his legs. But yeah, he didn't help himself.
Couple of changes for Wales. Hodri Jones and Elliot Dee are on. Ken Owens and who is the next one? Wyn Jones is off as well. Come on. He's got his arm around his neck.
Yeah, I think that was a bit... I don't know. I think you're pushing for a penalty there because it was kind of a bit below by my looking.
Oh, good feet, Teperick. Come on.
Oh, was that legal?
Curry? Did he wrap on that tackle?
I don't know.
Oh, he's a bit narrow.
Oh, good play, Sheedy.
Go on, son. Go on.
Oh, no, that's a push off the ball. Come on, pushed him out the way. I'd look at that if I was the ref.
Hardy's injured now as well.
I know, I'd look at that because he was coming across his line. He pushed him before he got to the ball.
He's done his hamstring.
Oh.
Come on, don't give a penalty away here. England, they're under pressure to get rid of this. That's actually a decent kick from Ben Youngs. Fair play. I don't know. I felt like it was a push as well.
No, because I think, because if you have a look at it.
He shouldered him. He just shouldered him into the side. Watson's just shouldered him.
Let's have another look at that.
I don't know if there's enough on it. No. I think that's okay. I actually think that's okay.
It's
off now.
It's slight. I think it's slight because
I think so. Okay, second looking. Gareth Davis on for Kieran Hardy. Shane Kieran Hardy has had to go off injured. He's played so well.
Oh, he's going to look at it now.
Oh, he's having a look at it.
The thing is, though, I can see why. I'm saying barge, though, because like Watson did stop his line momentarily. Yeah. Like, the thing is, like, it's if like Hardy had ran into him and then just like got barged up, but Watson had kept running like the same line, that wouldn't have been a penalty. But because Watson stopped for just a brief moment,
Is he looking at the Halo Curry incident?
Or, hang on. What's
I think he is. He's looking at the Halo.
Oh, this one, yeah. Oh, come on. No, I don't. You can't give a... That's...
I can't really see it that well. I do see arms going round.
I think there's a wrap there.
Yeah, there's a wrap there for me.
His shoulder does make contact with about the chin, but it does look...
Definitely not a yellow. For me, it's not a yellow. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a penalty, though. He has wrapped. He's certainly wrapped.
Yeah. I think you could argue it's a bit high. But his shoulder does clip him his chin, so...
I would only say penalty here.
All right, nice. Referee's giving it back to the scrum. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's the correct decision. I think that's right. He has made an attempt to wrap. I've got no issues with it.
But it's again a problem with slow motion replays because he connected with the chin. That can always make it look worse.
It always makes it look worse. All right, line out to Wales. We win the ball. Good stuff. Oh, 15 minutes now.
Oh, it's piling off there.
Elliot D not held. Go on, son. Advantage. Oh, Thomas Francis, the one guy who did not want to pick the ball up in that situation. I think we take the points here. If Sheedy's confident, we take the points. If he thinks he can get this.
Yeah, no,
just to go ahead. He wants a word with someone. With Itoje.
It was Itoje who's got caught out there.
11 penalties conceded from England. That's been an issue for them all through the tournament, hasn't it? Their discipline has been really poor. Confident here. We take the points, I think.
I think he was a little bit unlucky there because, I mean, when he joins the maul, he is offside, but because he's kind of caught in there, doesn't look like there's that much he can do to get out. But
no.
I mean, I suppose because he's like the way he's gone across in the line out, sort of he can. That's he shouldn't be really doing that. But again, how much is that the lifter's fault? How much is that his fault? So I mean, by law, the referee's got it right, but I can. If I was Itoje, I would feel a little bit hard done by there.
Yeah. Come on, Sheedy.
There we go.
Great kick. Well in, son. 27-24 to Wales. 14 and, a bit less than 14 minutes left here. I think that was the right decision there because it means England now, obviously behind. And so they have to start chasing the game a bit. Ellis John for England. Mako off. Oh, my word.
Thing is, as I said, by law, the referee was right to give that penalty, but I do feel a little bit of sympathy for Itoje because he's kind of stuck in there. It's like, well, what can I do? And there's Will trying to keep him in there to make him look like he's felt.
Well, we see that in games, don't we? All the time at the breakdown, someone will lie on top of someone just so they can't move.
Oh, he's offside there, ref. Come on, that one he was offside. He's got a.
Warren Gatland's watching. Oh, I do miss him at times. I do miss him, but I think I've been really encouraged by Pivac. I think his game management has actually been really good this tournament, bringing on the subs at the right time, making the changes.
He's off. See that there. He's offside there. That one should have been a penalty.
5 penalties conceded from Itoje. 5 in one game.
Yeah. The thing is, because he is one of those players who plays so close to the edge. Yeah. I don't think there's...
Go on, Faletau.
I mean, I know it's easy to say, okay, he's conceded 5 penalties in one game, but you also have to look at the nature of the penalties and how he plays, and because he's on the edge more, the referee's going to look at him more. So,
great turnover. Come on.
Oh, was that a bit high?
It's hard to say if that's high because he's dipping, isn't it? It's so hard.
Yeah.
in those situations.
Yeah, it's still a penalty though if he's gone up like around there.
Oh, lovely ball. Go on, Adams. He had fella Towners outside. He's like, I'm not passing to you.
Oh.
We're a bit not going anywhere really at the minute. We need another score of some sort. Not really going anywhere. Please don't box kick this.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
I knew it. I knew it. The minute that bit of play stopped, like, you know, I knew it was happening.
It was not a great box kick, I have to say.
No. I do like Gareth Davis. I think he's a good sniping scrum.
Another penalty.
I'll tell you that. I go for the points. He's a good sniping scrum half, but is he the speed of ball that we want? And
no, I don't think so.
I just don't think so. One Sheedy, you've got two already.
Thing is, I always think if you're box kicking like inside the opposition, like just inside the opposition's half, you have to like aim. You have to be aiming for just because box kickers, they generally aim for like just the line on the 22 line and just in front of that. Because like that's the thing, Ireland, France a couple of weeks ago, like you look at Dupont's box kicking, obviously Dupont's out of this world right now, but his box kicking was absolutely crisp on the money with how scrum halves like to try and box kick in those situations where they're just looking for just in front of the 22 so they can put pressure on the defenders and they don't have to mark they can't mark, pardon me. So yeah, but I mean, I think not all scrum halves execute it as well as Dupont does, so...
Yeah, I think you want to have the kick being competitive, don't you? If you're just box kicking for box kicking's sake, then you know you're just giving free to their fullback potentially or their back three.
Yeah. Or you want to put them in a position where their wingers or fullback are under pressure, and that does come from just being just in front of the 22 where they have to take the ball, and then your defense just go in and then get on top of them.
Hits them as he hits the ground.
Oh, we've done it.
Lovely kick. Get in.
Doing well with this one, isn't he?
He is. He's actually done really well. Been really impressed. 30 points to 24. Still not quite enough for us to be completely safe.
Aye. If I were Wales, I'd just try and keep it England as far down in their own half as possible.
Play in the right area of the pitch, isn't it? Force England to come and play. Force England to make the mistakes. Josh Navidi off for Wales as well.
James Botham on.
He did all right when he came on against Scotland. I've not got an issue with that. Willie Hines on for England. He's joining Worcester from Gloucester next season. So,
no, I said Dan Robson, mate.
Dan Robson, sorry. Oh, gosh, he's 10 minutes.
I see a couple of comments saying that was shocking from England with that Kieran Hardy try. No, a bit behind there, pardon me.
Yeah, I don't know about that because it's a double-edged sword. If they tackle him, it's going to be a penalty. If they don't, it's going to be a try. Yeah. So you take the chance that you might get a yellow, potentially.
Yeah.
Or do you... I don't know. It's hard. It's just good work from Kieran Hardy. This is dangerous from England. Oh, Slade just kicks.
That's a good kick, though.
It is a good kick, but when they have ball in hand, they look so dangerous. Again, it's as if he just doesn't look up there. He just kicks. He just gets the ball like, I'm kicking. So into the last 10 minutes, if you have not yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe as we push towards that 1,000 subscribers. Wales currently leading England 30 points to 24. The Triple Crown is 9 minutes away for Wales. And I am so nervous.
And just
good.
Oh, what was that? Offside. England's discipline again. They're just.
It's been the same old tournament, though.
I know they're just all.
It's so unnecessary that because we have to clear our lines. We're the team under the pressure there, and they're just giving easy way out.
Well, it was the same again. It was the same against Scotland. So no, sorry, carry on. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, I'll take it. But again, as you said, you were just about to allude there about the Scotland game. It was just needless. It doesn't help.
The thing is, though, I actually credit because I credited the referee of the Ireland, Luke Pierce, sorry, the Ireland-France game for picking this up because you don't. Some referees haven't been picking it up that much lately. Where like the players are, like the lifters are kind of throwing their jumpers across the line out, which you're not allowed to do. Them try and get the ball, and then you just see that there, and like it's good. It's getting picked up a lot more, I'd say.
Yeah.
But no, I'd say that's more on the lifters though than it is the player, the jumper. So,
come on, Gareth, what are you doing? That's fine.
Aye.
We're playing a bit risky here. There's no need to be playing in this area of the pitch.
Aye. Another box kick coming up.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Up she goes. Oh,
Louis Rees-Zammit, don't do that.
Oh, yeah. Dan Robson there. Changed his line. Obstructed Rees-Zammit.
Yeah. Can Sheedy get this from this distance, though? That's the question. Again, it's just needless penalties from England. If you're in England, you're so frustrated because it doesn't actually help you. It doesn't help you.
No. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, no, he's right there.
Yep.
Because he was running one line, just came across, and then that's an easy one.
It's just so unnecessary, these penalties. Like, obviously, as a Welshman, I'm absolutely loving it. They give us this many penalties, but it's still super frustrating. 27 people currently watching. Wow, thank you so much for watching this last 6 minutes or so. Wales with a penalty. Callum Sheedy to put us a little bit further ahead. We'll be over a score away. I'm nervous now, but if you haven't subscribed yet, the 27 people who are watching, be sure to do.
England are kind of unraveling here, man. So I don't know. If I were you, I wouldn't be too nervous, but
I'm still nervous. I can feel my heart going. But if he gets this,
there you go.
Get in! Come on, good lad. Well in. Brilliant. I mean, 33-24. I'm not saying anything yet.
Thing is, I know like Eddie Jones will moan about like those 2 first half tries, but if he's gonna, I mean, I understand like obviously a coach like on the camera he has to say things that maybe he wouldn't say in the dressing room, but if I was him, like in him, I would be like almost shooting some other player kneecaps just with the penalties they're giving away.
England with the advantage here from a Wales knock-on coming forward. England have to score now to make it interesting. They have to.
Oh, they know that themselves.
Oh, Sheedy stepping out again. Go on, get him. Good tackle, Tipuric. Our defence has been pretty good today. The only times I've been worried about us is when it's a little bit loose, and England with their backs have been a little bit exploiting us, to be honest. But
well, the thing is, when England actually play with pace, and they actually
great turnover. Good turnover, lads. I think the subs have made a big difference. I think Halaholo. Oh, Tipuric, be careful with
that. Was a good tackle there. Nice.
I'm just a bit nervous when he started lifting him. I was like, oh. Played. Good tackle again. I think our tackling today on the whole has been brilliant.
Yeah, he's right.
Oh, no, it's come England's way. 4 minutes to go. It's not that great a kick from Slade, to be honest. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Wales should try and get a bonus point try, or not at this point. I just want the win, to be honest, right now.
Think you've got all however million Welshmen you've got over, Welsh men and women you've got over there all agreeing with you, mate.
I mean, I'd love it, but yeah. No.
The thing is also, it's hard to say right now, but you think also, like, you know, if it is that last game does come down to the Grand Slam decider between you and France, like, how much might that play a factor? But it wouldn't that much if it is a Grand Slam.
Get him! Good lad. Good defense. Well in. Good tackle, Corey Hill.
Oh, there we go. Bonus point maybe on. Or he's on the chase. Is he going to get there? He should do.
Oh, he should get there.
Just control the ball. Control the ball. You. Oh, no.
Oh, missed it.
Oh, no. That was knocked on, though, so that should be a scrum to Wales.
I thought the bounce just died just as it should bounce into his hands. If it hadn't have died and he'd caught it there. Oh, my heart. Oh.
Yeah, Farrell knocked it on there, so that should be a...
Scrum 5. Freddie's watching. Freddie is an Englishman. I wonder what this comment really means. Brandon, I would like you to win it over Scotland. He's an Englishman. I'm not saying anything.
Is that because of me or just because you generally hate Scottish people? Or...
Great. Do you know what? Sheedy's been doing that all game, stepping out. I've always been so nervous about it. But that time it actually worked. Sheedy knew he didn't have the legs. It's a decent, just that bounce there. If he kicks and it doesn't hit his leg, he gets it.
You think Reece Zammit could have tried to catch one of those?
He'd have to go for it one-handed, I think. Try and scoop it from down. In the moment, are you aware how much space you have? I don't know if you're aware of that.
I think he panicked a wee bit. He maybe got into his head, oh, if I go for the hands and I knock it on, everyone's going to think, oh, you know. I think that's maybe got into his head a bit.
Last 2 minutes here then. 34 people currently watching alongside me and Kyle. Wales leading 33-24. We're in the right area of the pitch. Come on, let's push them over the line.
Aye, so
Alatown man of the match, deserving, do you think?
I think he's had a very good game. I think Tipuric as well has been excellent. Close call between him at the moment between him and Watson for the Lions 7, I'd say. Alan Wynne again been absolutely outstanding. But you just look at I'm going to talk about Alan Wynne-Jones just a little bit. Because you just look at him like, you know, the mauls you've had, the times like maybe you've been going backwards, the way he just gets himself back on side to get into the mauls and just, you know, it lifts everyone. Then you're able to kind of neutralise from there.
Well, throughout the whole 80, Wales attacking.
Oh, there you go. Bonus point.
Yes! Come on! Bonus point win over the English. Get in there. That's it. The Triple Crown is ours. Get in there, lads. Get in. I'm happy.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your host of the Brandon Smith Rugby Podcast. Totally unbiased and impartial.
Get in. Come on. Brilliant win. Brilliant win. We've deserved this. We were so much better than England on the day. When's the
last time you put... Oh, one thing, when's the last time you put 40 points on England?
A long time ago. We put 30 on them in Cardiff a while ago now.
I don't think you've ever put 40 points on them, as far as I know.
I know we put 30 on them. But Ian Gilbert, get in there. That's right. Oh, this is going to make my match reaction much sweeter.
I think that's a moment of history because I know my rugby history pretty well. I don't think Wales have ever put 40 points over England, so it looks like they're going to now. So
yeah. Get in there. Sheedy, what a difference he's made as well going forward. Once again, really putting a shift.
Got me laughing at Farrell there. He thought the game was over and he's trying to shake hands. Still got to take the restart.
Record score for Wales.
Aye.
Connor Broomfield letting us know. Thank you, Connor, for that. This is it. Get the ball. Yes, Alan! Get the ball off the pitch. I don't want to see it on there. Oh, Gareth Davis trolling them. I love it. Get in. Wales are victorious, beating the English 40 points to 24 at Cardiff. Absolutely deserving. Kyle, give us a summary of the match. Wales deserving in the end, do you think?
Yes, absolutely. England's indiscipline cost them in the second half. They were absolutely all over the place, discipline-wise. And England only let themselves down, I think. Still too much kicking from them. The moments they did play with ball in hand, they looked very dangerous, but they were so reactionary with it. They only seemed to play when they were behind and reacted to Wales being in front. With Wales, actually beating the team fairly with 15 men. You could argue about the 2 tries in the first half. The second one was definitely a try. The first one, again, how it was refereed, there's a lot of debate can go on about there. But overall, Wales fully deserved it, and well done for your Triple Crown, mate. And I'm very much looking on for the championship. It'd be a tough game in Paris in your last encounter, but you never know how this French team are going to recover after COVID and how they're going to do. So I'd say you've got a championship to look forward to, and a complete contrast to last year's one.
Exactly, and the thing is, coming into this year's competition, if I'm being totally honest, I was expecting us to beat Italy, maybe give you a good game. Wasn't sure what Ireland were going to be like. Thought we'd lose to England. Thought that France would absolutely smash us. But you know what? The boys have really turned up. We've done the simple things well. We've played in the right areas. Pivac's management of the substitutions has been world class. He's brought the players on at the right time. They made such a difference. Kieran Hardy today was brilliant. I think he'd be pretty close for man of the match for me personally.
He had a good game,
He's had such a good game, sped the game up. I know I'm not the biggest fan of him, but now my opinion's completely changed. Quickly on England, though, for me, England looked dangerous with ball in hand, but for whatever reason, they just didn't stick to that game plan. And I don't know if that's something that Eddie Jones has just drilled into them, that after 3 or 4 phases, if you're not making any ground, do you just sack the game off and just say, right, we're going to kick? I don't know if that's the tactic. I don't know if that's what's been told to the players and how much freedom they truly have on the pitch. I really don't know.
The thing is, again, they only seem to be let the shackles off and play with ball in hand when they were behind. And if you're an English fan, you must be absolutely frustrated that it takes you to be down before you actually start playing some proper rugby. Really, So I know Farrell is not a captain. He is absolutely not a captain.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's nothing against the guy. He's a fantastic rugby player, but it just doesn't. He's just not captain material. Sam Warburton spoke about it very honestly in his autobiography and said that when he was captain, he felt so much pressure on his shoulders. Although he led by example, he said he really struggled with it. And when he passed over the duties to Alan Wynne-Jones, he said that it really helped his game, really helped him to relax and to play his best rugby. And maybe that's something England needs to be thinking about. But do you do that in the middle of a Six Nations? I don't know if you do that.
Well, the thing is, he's not playing that great either, because most of England's playmaking is coming from George Ford. He's when England were actually playing rugby today, he was the main one making the plays and moving the ball. And Farrell, he just looks like he's he looks a bit like the Wayne Rooney of this England rugby team right now. And I mean the Wayne Rooney towards the end of his England football career, not at the start where he was absolutely world class, but it just got to the point where he was in the England team basically because he was Wayne Rooney. And I think Farrell seems like he's on a similar boat with that right now because he's the captain, because he's Owen Farrell. And to be honest, if Gatland is considering taking him to the Lions tour right now, he must be smoking a lot of meth behind the scenes that we don't know about, because there's no way you are taking Farrell. Ford maybe, because I think Ford has proved some credentials, but there's no way Farrell should be on that Lions plane whatsoever right now.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at some of the comments then. A few of the comments making fun of England. I'm not like that, really. It's great for Wales to win, but commiserations to England, obviously. But I'm certainly going to be celebrating and cheering him. Bologna, James White. Wow, in Italy. Very nice. Welcome to the channel. I don't think I've seen you here before, so welcome. Simon Hughes says it's a triple crown, not quite the Six Nations yet. That is right. Cymru, welcome. Fantastic to see Wales win. Ben Ford, co-host of the Welsh Rugby Roundup show, of course. Bonus point against England. It's the thing. It's the stuff you love to see. Yes, I know, Brandon, Kieran Hardy fan now. I've always liked him. I've never said that I don't like him. No, honestly, he had such a good game. Really good game. Honestly, brilliant. Really hope we can beat the French whenever it's played. That's for Scotland, of course. Yeah, I've just shortened the name of the channel a little bit just to make it a little bit easier. But let's quickly talk then. Looking ahead, Wales against Italy. That's surely a win for Wales. For you guys, obviously, you're not quite sure what's happening with the rest of the Six Nations now. What would you like to see happen? Would you say you postpone the final weekend for another week, or would it be play it whenever it's convenient?
Well, right now, obviously with the French COVID thing, we don't know how long that's going to go on. But I would say, like with the France-Scotland game, delay it till a time when both teams can get their best available teams on the field, as I said. But with the rest of the tournament, try and go on as normal. Really, yeah. I mean, I'm fancying our chances when Ireland come to Murrayfield. I know it'll be a very tough game, and but yeah, that's just what I think.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, we're going to leave it there because we're both going to do match reactions on our separate channels. Mine might be a little bit more passionate, but we will have to. I'll
keep the shirt on. Is that still on my refereeing shirt?
I'm going to wear this shirt till next year. But honestly, brilliant performance from Wales. Thank you, Kyle, so much for jumping on this. Let me just quickly, before we
Thank you for having me.
Let me drop the link to your channel down below. Before we go, guys, do go check out Kyle's channel. He does match reactions, previews, all that kind of good stuff. So please do go check it out. Give it a subscription if you haven't already. So I'll just drop that in the chat there for you. So do go and subscribe to Kyle's channel because, yeah, he does a lot of match reactions and is very knowledgeable on rugby. So thank you so much for jumping on again. It's been absolutely brilliant. Obviously, if the score was different, maybe I wouldn't be smiling as much. But
no,
guys,
enjoy it, mate. Enjoy it.
Yeah, it's always good to have you on. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. There will be a match reaction on my channel. Hopefully, in the next couple of hours, I'll go into some depth with stats, etc. So do subscribe for that. Thank you for joining, and I will see you tomorrow for the Leinster versus Glasgow watch along.
Take care, guys. Thanks for having me, Brandon.